On 911, a little boy is accidentally stabbed,
I was scared to death.
and his 10-year-old sister calls for help, but time is running out.
It was going over and over again in my mind that he was going to die.
Then 911.
This is 911. Do you have an emergency?
Chesterfield Emergency Service. They're very good hands here.
We begin in a peaceful suburban neighborhood outside Atlanta, Georgia, just after Christmas of 1989.
When I started crying and screaming, I didn't know what to do.
The pressure of saving a child, for some reason, that is a big pressure.
It was going over and over again in my mind that he was going to die.
On this Wednesday afternoon, Linda Bledsoe had a quick errand to run. She left her 10-year-old daughter, Michelle, in charge of her 3 younger kids.
Fred, you know what to do. I told Michelle just to put in a tape in the VCR for the 2 little ones so that they wouldn't be under her feet in her room. She had chores to do. Kimberly and Rufus, give me a kiss. She's very good with the kids. I don't hesitate to leave her. She's babysat for me quite often. The little ones listen to her sometimes better than they do me. Michelle, behave.
To help keep her little brother and sister entertained, Michelle decided to open one of her Christmas presents, a new videotape.
It had plastic and some cardboard at the bottom of it. I couldn't get it open, so I told Kimberly to go into the kitchen to get a butter knife. In the meantime, I had already cut it open with my nail. Rufus, go throw this in the garbage. It ended up being a very sharp knife, and I just told her to go put it back.
From upstairs, 7-year-old Jessica heard her brother's screams.
He was stabbed right below the chest, and it was a deep cut. I didn't know what to do because I was so scared. But then I calmed myself down, and I called my father.
Picked up the phone, and it was Michelle, and she said that Rufus had been stabbed. I said, call 911.
When we continue,
Police department, can I help you?
It's 3-year-old, and I'm babysitting alone. He just got stabbed with a very sharp knife, and I need help. Oh, God.
People have been using wind power for sailboats since the beginning of time. Wind can be converted to electricity with windmills, and it's clean and renewable. There are people and companies working to make wind power available to everyone. All we have to do is get behind them. Can one solution to energy woes be blowing in the wind? The possibilities are endless.
Have emergency 911.
her call came into dispatcher Russell Jones.
It's 3-year-old, and I'm babysitting alone. He just got stabbed with a very sharp knife, and I need help. Oh, God.
Is this an apartment complex, ma'am, or a house?
No, it's a house.
Is
Mr. House, you say he got stabbed?
Excuse?
You said he got... Ma'am, listen, I need you to talk to me and not talk to that person. Listen, you say he got stabbed?
Yes, it is a very sharp knife, and I need help. I don't know where my mother is. I called my father. He's at work, and he's on his way.
I'd only been in the 911 system for a month and a half. And so when this call came in, I didn't think I was ready for it.
Oh, God, I am so scared.
How old is he?
He is, I think 3. He'll be 4 in February.
Okay, ma'am, keep himself down as best you can.
She said one child had been stabbed by another child. So I understood that it was an accidental thing.
An ambulance already in the field was dispatched to the scene.
Okay, man, we have somebody on the way. They'll be there as soon as possible.
I'm sorry, it's getting worse.
Keep him calm, man. You gotta keep him calm. We have somebody on the way. He'll be there as soon as possible.
Stay calm, you guys. Stay calm. He'll be all right, I think.
But you can't scream at him and tell him to be calm. You gotta try to calm down so that you can help him calm down, okay?
Okay, Kimberly, go get his blanket.
Kimberly ran upstairs into his room. She knows exactly where his blanket is. Jessica just kept him company, holding his hand real tight, going, Daddy will be home as soon as he can. I was scared to death that he might die.
Are you babysitting or something there?
Yes, I'm 10 years old. I'm so scared. Nothing has ever happened like this before.
Ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, we have the police and the EMS on their way.
The first rescue workers to arrive were paramedics David Stevens and his partner, Kathy Moncrief.
Children were crying, extremely upset. The feeling in the air was just all in an uproar.
The emotions that are running through your mind, you have to do something quick, you've got to do something now. All of your energies are directed straight to this child to make sure this child is going to make it. Okay, Rufus, easy, easy.
He acted afraid of us and didn't want us to touch him, and it took us a minute to get on his level and get him in communication with us so that we could calm him down and, treat him in a rational manner.
Just breathe in real, real deep, all right? When we realized how bad it was, and we realized Rufus needed a children's trauma center, so we called for the helicopter.
Police officer Jay Rosdick was patrolling DeKalb County from the air when he got the call.
Our normal mission is police work, but we back up the ambulance service within the county. We know that anytime they call us, it's a life-critical situation, and so time is of utmost importance.
Level consciousness.
This was a very dangerous situation. The length of the knife, it could easily have lacerated the kidney, the aorta, the spleen, any number of organs inside the body that are real dense in blood.
Additional officers were sent to the scene to help secure a safe helicopter landing zone in the front yard.
I could look down and see the ambulance and police cars, so I knew the exact location. It was a very slow approach because there was a lot of wires, a lot of obstruction.
Within 5 minutes, the helicopter was on the scene.
Children bring an emotion out in people that is unequaled. Paramedics are just as susceptible to that as anyone else. You really have to concentrate on your job to keep from getting wrapped up in that emotion.
Rufus had already been airlifted out by the time his father and mother got home.
When I saw the police officers and everything, I wasn't scared until I walked in and saw my daughter's face and found out from my husband what happened.
My parents raised me so good that I don't know how to explain it. They raised me so good, and I'm really proud of them because without them, he'd be dead right now.
5 months later, after a successful operation, Rufus is on his way to a full recovery. Trauma surgeon Dr. Paul Parker explains.
I think Rufus is a very lucky kid in a number of ways. One, that his knife injury was not more serious and that it didn't hit his heart or a major artery in his abdomen. He's also lucky that he got medical attention very quickly, and he's got an older sister who knows how to use telephone.
Come back here.
I think it's extremely important for any parent to teach their children about emergency situations, and 911's the answer.
I'm glad Rufus is okay. I think Michelle saved Rufus's life. I got her by a knife. And now better now.
He's a real crazy boy, but we all love him. We'd miss him if he was gone.
There's no gift more precious than life. We owe it to one another to learn CPR and basic life-saving techniques. This series is dedicated to all the men and women who answer our calls for help and are there when we need them most. I'm William Shatner. Join us again next week for more true stories on Rescue 911.
Next, step inside the command center where the calls for help are answered and meet the real-life heroes who save lives. Stay tuned for another episode of Rescue 911, next on Discovery Health Channel. Real life, medicine, miracles.
Mr. Shapiro, step out of the car, please.